I get very excited when I think about the productive and efficient group of people who keep the country running. Healthcare workers, teachers, law enforcers, firefighters, administrative personnel, and more. Who am I talking about? Why, civil servants, of course. Stick around for details on the modernization plans for the public sector. And later, don't just take it from me, see for yourself the kind of excellence I'm talking about.
And our Civil Servant of the Year 2013 enters Angela Campbell.
We put another outstanding public sector worker in the spotlight, and
Thank you, Mr. Mandela.
It's Nelson Mandela Day. We pause to pay tribute to a freedom fighter extraordinaire. I'm Arroyo Eubank. Stay with me for another engaging edition of Jamaica Magazine.
You are one great brother. God bless you, Mr. Mandela.
Can you spare some time to help others?
How about 67 minutes?
This July 18, join the global movement to give service to others. Volunteer your time to literacy, shelter, and food security efforts in your community. Let's honor the 67 years of service world leader Nelson Mandela gave us.
None of us acting alone can achieve success. We must therefore act together as a united people for national reconciliation, for nation building, for the birth of a new world.
Remember, we can change the world and make it a better place. The choice is in your hands, so volunteer today.
Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith, and this is your JIS News for Friday, July 18. The governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Brian Winter, says there will not be much further devaluation of the local currency. Mr. Winter, who is this week's guest on JIS TV's Issues and Answers program, says while the currency was overvalued, there's no reason for the dollar to continue to depreciate. He says the central bank will continue to intervene in the trading market to ensure the Jamaican dollar is at its right value.
An adjustment has been necessary. And that adjustment was necessary to help to compensate for the fact that our inflation rate in Jamaica, prices here were rising faster by quite a lot than the prices in our trading partner countries. So an adjustment has been necessary to compensate for that.
Much attention has been on the exchange rate since the price of $1 rose to as high as 112 Jamaican dollars. Last week, the BOJ intervened in the market for the second time within the past 18 to 24 months. Hear more from Mr. Winter as he speaks on the currency and other economic matters this Sunday during Issues and Answers on Jamaica Magazine. Jamaica could achieve its target of having 20% of energy coming from renewable sources by early next year. State Minister for Science, Technology, Energy and Mining, Julian Robinson, says several solar and wind energy projects now underway could help the country surpass its target.
With the additions of the projects that we mentioned, the two new solar and the wind farm, which will be coming on stream next year, that we will get to 20 next year. So those figures will officially have to be revised. And that's a positive thing for us as an economy.
Minister Robinson was speaking at the recent unveiling of a combined 78-kilowatt solar mill rooftop solution at the office of Myers, Fletcher and Gordon. He said these types of investment were critical to sustaining business profitability and were in keeping with government's focus on conservation and diversifying the energy mix, moving away from heavy fuel oil as the main source of energy. The Education Ministry is actively taking steps to address some of the academic and image challenges facing the Hopewell High School in Hanover. Portfolio Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaite says there are plans to transform the school into a center of excellence.
It is important that we should so improve the facilities and the offerings here at Hopewell that it becomes a school of choice, particularly in the areas of greatest aptitude and greatest utility for the students, which are in technical and vocational areas.
He says a mathematics coach and literacy specialist will be assigned to the school starting September to help improve performance at the CSEC level. In the meantime, the Education Minister has expressed confidence in the ability of interim principal Leonie Dunwell to continue to lead and transform the institution into a center of excellence.
All the records and all of the reports that I have had indicate that she has been a dedicated interim principal, that she has in fact taken charge of this school.
Mrs. Danwell was appointed to act in the position following the launch of an inquiry into certain aspects of the school's operations late last year. The Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation will again be staging its annual Downtown Sizzling Summer Savings Extravaganza. It will be held on July 25 and 26 at the St. William Grant Park in downtown Kingston. The event focuses on registered vendors who will be accommodated in the park, offering massive discounts to patrons. One of the aims of the extravaganza is to inject new life into shopping in the downtown area to renew the business and commercial landscape of Kingston. And finally, a slew of new events has been added to the annual Jamaica Festival schedule of activities. They include the Heart of Ska Festival on August 2, which is expected to reignite interest in Jamaica's indigenous music. Meanwhile, persons will get to indulge in tasty Jamaican cuisine at the Dutchy Food Festival on August 3.
And the Dutchy Culinary Festival is really a food festival that is going to be seeing some of our top chefs participating in cooking competitions. We are going to be having a luncheon, a celebrity luncheon, where we'll have some of our celebrity cooks, as well as professional cooks who are going to be preparing a meal, and persons can come and dine.
And on August 5, the JCDC will be staging the Auntie Rochi Film, TV and Literary Festival.
It's going to be featuring short films in a competition format, trailers for new television programs. It includes a book fair, poetry reading, and we will also be opening the exhibition for our literary arts competition throughout the entire day as part of that activity.
All the events will take place at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in St. Andrew. And that's it for GIS News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
As the country continues to experience the effects of the prevailing drought conditions, the Minister of Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change, Robert Pickersgill, will address the nation. Tune in for a national broadcast this Sunday evening, July 20, on this station. That's a national broadcast by the Minister of Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change, Robert Pickersgill, this Sunday, July 20, on this station.
That's right. Public sector workers are winners in their own right, overcoming everyday obstacles to deliver exemplary service to you. We're going to introduce you to the 2013 Civil Servant of the Year, but first, let's zoom in on some of the plans to make the public sector more efficient and responsive to the needs of the Jamaican economy.
Government is on a mission to transform the public sector to make it more efficient and responsive to the needs of the Jamaican economy. Since the public sector is responsible for executing much of government's policies and programs while ensuring that the affairs of the country are intact, there is a need to transform and modernize the civil service. That involves the development of the Human Capital Management Enterprise System, a computerized human resource database that's to be implemented by January 2015. eGov Jamaica, formerly Fiscal Services Limited, should be the first live site.
Bids for the supply of the software have been received and reviewed. Prospective vendors have been receiving clarification where necessary. It is projected to award the contract by September of this year.
And since the public sector has been mandated to become more business and customer friendly, the Management Institute for National Development has been conducting training sessions to positively change the attitude of public sector workers. Improving the transparency, integrity, and efficiency of public procurement is also part of the modernization initiative. After all, the purchasing of goods and services on behalf of the country accounts for approximately 30% of Jamaica's gross domestic product. For the 2013-2014 financial year, Cabinet issued $50.5 billion in contracts to over 3,000 companies. To strengthen the public procurement process, a new procurement law will be tabled in Parliament soon.
There will also be established a public procurement appeals body where a contractor can appeal to. If you feel you are wrong as a contractor, as someone doing service for government, you go to the Public Appeals Board.
65 of the 84 contractors who were not registered by the National Contracts Commission, the NCC, have been invited to submit their applications for registration. Previously, all 84 contractors were not allowed to register as they were being investigated by the Office of the Contractor General, the OCG, which referred some of the files to the Police Fraud Squad. For the remaining 19 contractors, 15 files are still with the Fraud Squad and 4 are still with the OCG.
No regulatory or certifying agency can operate in this manner if businesses are to develop and thrive. Our local contractors play a very important role in executing government projects while providing jobs for our people.
And so a new contractor registration system will be developed and the emergency contracting procedures reviewed. The NCC will also be separated from the Office of the Contractor General and given its own office and staff. The NCC will then be renamed the Public Procurement Commission. To speed up the contracts award process, the Ministry of Finance will no longer need to comment on all contracts before they are approved. The compensation packages of government workers are also part of the public sector transformation project. Having completed a review of the compensation packages, come November, government will begin public sector wage negotiations for the 2015-2017 contract period. A number of sensitive issues will be addressed during the discussions.
These include the question of the sustainability of some of the allowances payable in the health sector, on-call, overtime, sessions, which have been the subject of recent disagreements between the health professionals and the management of some regional health authorities.
The issue of personal deductions paid over by government agencies on behalf of workers will also be addressed. As for the staff orders, a revised version should be implemented during this financial year following consultations with stakeholders. Public sector pension reform continues to be a critical component of the modernization process. The new public sector pension regime is scheduled for implementation by April 2016 and includes the following:
introduction of the 5% contribution of all employees, the gradual increase of the normal retirement age from 60 to 65. On retirement, the worker will still continue to be given the option to receive a lump sum payment as presently obtained.
The Registrar General's and the Accountant General's departments will also work out a system so that pensioners do not have to get updated life certificates every 3 months. That way, pensioners will be better able to receive their money on time and less pension payments will be withheld or suspended. Government is also moving to streamline the operations of public sector agencies to boost efficiency. As such, the merger of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission and the Jamaica Racing Commission is proceeding according to plan. Under Phase 1, the finance, human resource and core enforcement functions will be merged.
The merger committee, assisted by a consultant, is in the final stage of defining the merger strategy. But the merger, the first phase, will begin next month to merge BGLC with the JRC, and the final phase in October.
The final phase involves a merger of other operational functions and the introduction of new legislation to complete the amalgamation. And following amendments to the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act earlier this year, government will be exploring other strategies to tap into the multi-billion-dollar gaming industry. In the last fiscal year, government collected about $4.6 billion in revenue from the gaming industry. The divestment of key public assets is also a priority on government's list as it moves to modernize the public sector. Following the establishment of an enterprise team to oversee the divestment of Caymanas Track Limited, two groups have expressed an interest in the facility: the Racing Divestment Committee in Jamaica and the Britnell Development Group in the United States.
The team, assisted by a strategic consultant, continues to work towards the finalization of this transaction before the end of the year.
The government of Jamaica on a mission to modernize the public sector, making it more efficient and business-friendly so it can respond to the needs of the Jamaican economy.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the idling. You think I saw? We reach out the edging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
If you're a loyal fan of Jamaica Magazine, you would have noticed that we've been showcasing some of the public sector workers who have been making an outstanding contribution to national development. This week, Andrea Chisholm speaks with the 2013 Civil Servant of the Year.
They are brilliant, hardworking, efficient, a group of competent individuals who transform black and white into living glorious technicolor. They are public sector workers, the engine of government, developing the policies and executing the programs to keep the country running. Civil servants are on a mission to deliver quality service to all stakeholders, among them Entros Campbell, Director of Production at the Jamaica Information Service, the 2013 Civil Servant of the Year. Ms. Campbell, you started in '95 as radio editor. What were some of your duties?
Well, I came in as you say, editor. I had to edit the scripts of the producers, but I also had my own beats. I had three ministers, Minister Paulwell, Agriculture Minister, and I had the Prime Minister. And I had to train the producers because, you know, editing is not about just grammar and correctness, but also as it relates to content. Ensure that we have the right figures. If the minister says 2 million, we don't have 2 billion and so on.
Having performed well in the position of radio editor, Ms. Campbell was promoted to the position of senior copy editor and later senior editor at the television department. The growth process continued in 2000 when she was asked to serve as the manager for the radio department. By then, her velvet voice was penetrating the airwaves.
Coming up, Water Ministry adopts zero tolerance approach towards excessive use of water during dry period.
I grew up listening to you on the radio when you had the Voice of Jamaica coming out with JIS programs. And when persons hear you on location, if they meet you in person, if you just say your name, they immediately recognize the voice.
To me, sometimes I'm surprised. I don't know, sometimes I'm really surprised. But sometimes it just motivates you and you say, boy, you know, you really are doing something good because people know of you. And it's a good feeling.
Since 2009, this hard-working civil servant has been serving as Director of Production at the JIS.
As Director of Production, I have direct responsibility for computer services, television, and radio.
She is also chairperson for the JIS's production meeting, where she ensures that the production arms of the agency disseminate information in a structured way.
Okay, morning everyone, and welcome again to another production meeting. Today we're going to be focused on the visit of the head of the IMF. As you know, she's visiting next week.
Well, as you instructed, we have already put a plan in place to do pre-stories, stories while the visit unfolds.
Enthros Campbell also represents the JIS on an interministerial committee organized by the Office of the Prime Minister. There, she coordinates all media activities for national events as well as state and official visits and funerals.
I coordinate on behalf of the agencies. I represent the agency on the interministerial committee, so I have to ensure that media is happy and that government is happy with how media operates.
She has the expertise, and JIS is always a very important component because we want media coverage both internationally and locally, and so she either would coordinate the international press as well as the local press, accredit them and manage them.
Enthros is the calming individual on any committee. Enthros is not ruffled. She's quiet but effective and very professional.
Ms. Campbell was also chairman of the JIS's planning committee, which spearheaded the development of the award-winning photo album commemorating Jamaica's 50th anniversary of independence. The publication received the Bronze Award in the prestigious Mercury competition, beating out over 600 entries from 21 countries. The Chief Executive Officer of the JIS also presented her and the team with an Innovation Award for the publication. Ms. Campbell again struck gold when she and the Planning Committee conceptualized the annual JIS Heritage Essay Competition in 2011. Ms. Campbell, you are, should I say, multifaceted because your job or what you do is not just limited to things you do here at the JIS. You're also una profesora de español. Tell us about it.
Yes, I teach Spanish. I'm a trained Spanish teacher, and while I'm here at the JIS, I still teach like on a Saturday. I teach at 9 on a Saturday, and I help students who are doing exams.
Yo trabajo.
In February 1998, Ms. Campbell was an interpreter for journalists covering the visit of Fidel Castro to Jamaica, and 1 year later, she again provided her services at the G15 summit. Appropriate duties for the remarkable civil servant who completed a Bachelor of Arts in Spanish as well as a Master of Arts in Spanish Translation at the University of the West Indies. She also studied in Spain, Colombia, and Venezuela. Ms. Campbell's tour of duty would be incomplete had she not participated in outreach activities. She met as a child at the Mount Olivet Boys Home in Manchester, a childcare facility adopted by the JIS in 2009. And as an active member of the Kingston Open Bible Church, she teaches a Sunday school class and organizes Vacation Bible School for the children. For her hard work in the public sector, first as a teacher and then a media practitioner, Ms. Campbell received extra special recognition in 2013.
Our Civil Servant of the Year 2013, Enthros Angela Campbell.
When I got the award, I was like, I was surprised because the people who were with me, the other nominees, they were really well-respected civil servants who've been in the job for a while.
When we, reviewed the work, we also thought of her character and what she brings to the position. She inspires, she is, as I said, reliable. You ask her to get something done, she follows through. She communicates well, and she's just a good team member. She's a part of my dream team. Enthros is a shining example of hard work and dedication to national development. And we wanted to put her on a bigger stage. Yes, she is here at the JIS. She's associated with the brand. You hear her on radio. You see her occasionally on TV. But we wanted the public to know that these are the people who serve the nation in the public sector.
What would you say to civil servants? Some of them may feel a little dejected from time to time based on the current circumstances. What would be your advice to them?
Bloom where you're planted. You're here now, you don't know where you're going to go, but if you want to move to somewhere else, you just have to be the best here. Because if you don't do well, nobody's going to see you and he will recommend you.
What about your vision for the civil service?
I want them to get better pay, of course. I want them to be paid better. But I also want them to be more professional. I mean, all round. I know there are lots of professionals in civil service. The world view about civil servants is that they are just not good. I want that to change.
Enthros Campbell, Director of Production at the Jamaica Information Service, Civil Servant of the Year 2013, transforming and renewing for a better tomorrow.
Perfect.
All of us get frustrated from time to time in our respective jobs, not true? Lack of resources, low salaries, and the personal problems just compound the situation. But there are certain things we can do to create a balance and become productive in the workplace, whether you're in the public or private sector. Recently, the Civil Servant of the Year hosted an empowerment session to boost the morale of workers. Guest speaker Dr. Ensombi Jaja challenged individuals to feast on the positive things in life so they can become energized to cope with life's challenges.
You cannot feed on bad food and be well. If you feed on junk food, you are going to get sick and you're going to spend most of your money going to the doctor. If you feed on intellectual bad food, you're going to be sick. If you feed on emotionally bad food, you are going to be sick. And if you feed on spiritually bad food, you're going to be sick as well.
Public sector workers were also encouraged to step out in faith when pursuing their dreams. And for leaders in various organizations,
transformational leaders, you need to stand your ground and uphold the standards of the organization, because it is not a party that we are having. You can't be so caring for the people that you lose sight of the standards and you lose sight of the outputs.
How good and how pleasant it would be before God and man. To see the unification of all Africans. Yo, thank you, Mr. Mandela. You are one great brother. God bless you, Mr. Mandela. Love and respect forever. Thank you, Mr. Mandela. You are one great brother. God bless you, Mr. Mandela.
And that's it for this Friday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Hope you are inspired to do well in your respective jobs and draw inspiration from the words of Nelson Madiba Mandela. As you think about all that he stood for, catch up on the latest info at jis.gov.jm. Follow us on Twitter at JIS News and send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. I'm Arroyo Eubanks, and this has been Jamaica Magazine. Another program comes your way tomorrow. Take care, and thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.